Good morning. Welcome to Morning Outlook on goodness Tuesday, the 22nd of November. Having a look at the dates here. What we got in store for today? Let's look at the news events first, and just switch across here to the calendar and run to today. And well, we've got the we've had Reserve Bank of Australia Governor speaking there. Actually, no, he's at 8:30. Beg your pardon. So he's due at 8:30. I think his speech comes out earlier. But anyway, aside of that, we've got core retail sales for the Canadian dollar there at 130, and really the Richmond Manufacturing Index lower level in terms of volatility. It normally kicks around these figures. They are expecting negative retail sales, so anything slightly better might just get the Canadian dollar rolling a little bit better. And the same with the Richmond Manufacturing. Got some speakers there. There are some other speakers. Let's just go through here. We've got a number of speakers there through today, really running from 4 o'clock onwards. So day trading, the normal London market, you should be okay. Just looking, we've already got Reserve Bank of Australia. Oh, actually, he's already speaking at 7, so not 8. Okay. So yeah, not a great deal of data due today. So let's have a look at the currencies. I just read a comment on Morning Maker that we have a problem. There's nothing going on these markets. They're right. There is if you're looking at the right ones, but it is slow and it is consolidated in places. Just looking at the let's just broaden this a little bit here. The euro dollar first, then daily perspective. From a daily perspective, if it's rolling over, not looking particularly great from where it's sitting at the moment, and you've got this bear flag sort of coming through here. I was pretty bullish this into last week, but now it seems to be showing the wrong things. We've got lower highs coming through on the 4 hourlies. It could be turning where it is. There is. I mean, it's down into its 4 hourly S1. It's just looking like it's trying to break it and give us. It gave us a bit of divergence around the absolute lows there. Then it's sort of broken up beyond that, triggered the sort of upside. It's got daily pivot above untouched. Sorry, daily. That's a weekly pivot up above untouched, which. Sorry, no, it's the weekly untouched, and looking reasonably bullish here. Let's have a look at the daily pivot. So yeah, it's into its daily pivot at the moment, so sitting there quite solidly into the daily pivot. So where to? Well, a break of that might be a bit more positive, and as I said, from an intraday point of view, might see further upside. It's certainly got some scope, and those pivots might just draw it up, and being above the daily pivot would help. So there's some scope. I don't think it's all over for the euro at the moment. I think it's got some potential to continue upwards. Looking at the pound dollar then, consolidated around these highs here on the dailies, so yeah, give us some movement. And much more difficult to read really. For me, it's not so clear. We haven't got an absolute lower high there. In fact, it's starting to pick up again on this 4 hourly picture, starting to look a little bit more in the short term there, ball flaggy. As we run through here, it's just let's click onto where the daily pivots are. It's through its daily pivot. Maybe if we can get a break of these highs here, maybe the 200, we could see it running up towards its R1. So it's both of these markets at the moment looking slightly more bullish on the lower time frames. The dollar yen, that's it. The dollar yen then, well, it has again yesterday run up another solid day up there. Just looking at what's going on here, so higher lows there. Again, it's certainly looking softer for the yen. The dollar's doing pretty well here, of course. Again, in this case, it looks bull flaggish on this shorter time frame. Just looks like, well, actually see it's coming down the time frames here, and it just to the hourlies. And well, if we could see this, we could potentially break down another step here and give us a lower high. So it has the scope to roll back a little bit more. Just looking at it on the short 15-minute time frame, just so I can see the pivots. A bit weird here. Pivots only come into being on the short. Daily pivots only come on the 15-minute chart. So daily pivot still underneath there. That might in itself be a draw. It's a reasonable probability of being hit. So again, it fits with everything else I'm looking at the moment. Aussie dollar. The Aussie dollar. Well, arguably ball flaggy on the dailies there, but it's put lower highs in. To me, if anything, I'd be waiting for the breakdown of the lows at the moment. This is a softer market. However, you come down again and it's sort of showing the signs that it could potentially give a higher low on this hourly time frame and start moving up. Again, we've got untouched pivots above. It's just come down to the 15 minutes, and there's the daily pivot. It's been banging on the door. Now, a break of that would be much more positive for the day ahead. So it's got scope. Let's just see what the speaker says this morning. Anyway, there we go. Possible scope to push up a bit more. Right, finally the Canadian dollar here. And I mean, the first thing that hits me when you look at the daily picture is the lower highs that are coming through here. Now it's whether or not we can turn where we are. We're seeing some sort of potential running down there. It's a real mixed old bag. You've got higher lows kicking through on this 4-hourly picture. It looks better on the daily. This looks positive. Then you start looking down here and you've got the same potential lower highs to come the other way. So quite mixed markets. You're getting sort of mixed signals depending on what time frame you're looking at. It does look quite good on the from a daily perspective. It's pulled back, hit the underside of its daily pivot, has got some scope to carry on pushing to the south side there. So it's a similar picture. There's indecisiveness, indecision even through these forex markets. One time frame showing positive, the other negative. If we skip across to the, I'm just going to look at the oil actually first. Got the continuous current track. So okay, let's just come into dailies here and look at oil. So oil. So I've got a different contract here on oil, but oil, you can see the general basis there. It's sold off again. I need to look at the continuous current. It's supposed to be the continuous current oil price anyway. We'll look at it more, but looking pretty negative at the moment. Still bouncing off there a tad. Looking at gold. Well, gold, like everything else, is potentially putting the reversal in there. Is this just a bull flag? It's had 4 days down. Is it turning around? Looking at the lower time frames coming through here. Weekly pivot untouched above there. And as we come up a bit further, so that's that weekly pivot. It's just sort of, go down a bit further in time wise. Daily pivot retested, looking like it's got scope, and it's matching everything else that's out there. So quite a match, but lots of conflict through these markets in terms of absolute. Are we going to see them now bouncing back up again? Are we seeing the dollar just selling off a little bit more? Certainly the question. Looking at the indices. Let's just run through these Asian indices. I'm just looking at CSI 300 then. Still looking. I mean, it's up for the day, but it's just looking another one that's looking quite mixed. It's indecision in terms of Chinese lockdowns, etc. It's not really helping the markets at all, and looking soft really. Could be a little bull flag in the shorter time frames if we move into tomorrow, but it's closed now. The Nikkei again, well, we saw a gap up. It's a positive sort of movement here. Always gapping. This is a gap, certainly sitting up there. Looking a bit more positive. It's been sort of looking within itself, looking at decent. The Nifty 50 turning around this morning. This all sort of sits comfortably with the currencies in terms of all looking positive, effectively against the dollar, and still in a sort of bull zone here on the Nifty 50. S&Ps then. We just sat here for God knows how many days, and the running just gently down. Now, are we going to see some cracks in this? What we need really is a break up above this sort of 39.96 on here. Friday morning's high really to give us a confirmed higher low, but the chop in these markets is not at all clear, or making things quite difficult to work out where the hell they're going. Just come down to the hourlies there, and you just see on the short time frame it's really quite bitty. The Dow Jones again, similar-ish picture, not quite as negative. It did push up the day before yesterday, Monday. It pushed Friday, beg your pardon, it pushed up. Yesterday, a bit of a hanging day there. Nasdaq again, the softer of the markets when they start moving down. For now, it's certainly not looking as bright as the S&Ps and the Dow on the shorter time frame here, looking much more negative. Coming across then to look at the DAX. Let's just get the daily on the DAX there. Trying its best. It's sitting in its right up here, its monthly R2 sort of zone at this stage, and well, it's struggling around there. There isn't undoubtedly, I'm sure, some divergences across those highs, but it's hanging in there. It's hanging in there quite well. It's sort of, well, he says it keeps knocking on the door. Maybe I'd rather be bullish on this market than against it, so I'll wait and see if we get the breakthrough and the breakout. We'll be aware though, because we'll probably get a lot of traders playing the breakout, and it might just get in and then retrace a little bit. So patience needed there on the DAX. Finally, FTSE. Just coming out here, FTSE again. It's generally been running most of the year more positive. Here it goes, gapped up, moved up pretty sharply there on the open, so looking more positive here. But again, it's been sitting around these prior highs. It's whether or not, if it can actually break these, then it looks much more bullish again for a continuation to the upside. Okay, they are difficult markets at the moment. I wish you all the best for trading them, and I'll catch you tomorrow morning. Bye for now.